Me 35 male, my wife of 25 years, 29 female cheated on me. My wife had sex with someone she met in a store. Wants to maintain a friendship with both me and the person she cheated on me with. Can't believe the audacity of this woman. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And now let's start with the story. My wife of 5 years cheated by sleeping with a stranger she met in a store. They exchanged numbers, spoke, had drinks, and she took him to her hotel room and had sex with him. She confessed everything to me and firmly admits that the story, as crazy as it sounds, is true. Our marriage had been pretty shaky, and this was the reason for her taking a break and booking a hotel room in the first place. She went out on the town, and this is where she met the stranger. We still love and care about each other, however, and it would be nice for us to remain friends. Is this healthy? Secondly, she stayed in touch with the person she had sex with after their encounter, and she has developed a strong connection and liking with this person even though she has only known this person for 3 weeks. She refers to it as love at first sight. She claims to still love me. She has since moved out and now has her own place. I told her that if we were to remain friends in any capacity, then you can't remain in a relationship or in open communication with the person that you've cheated on me with. She's finding this to be difficult to ask because she does not want to lose our friendship, but also has somehow developed a deep connection with her 3-week-old dealings with her male equivalent of mistress. Is this a reasonable request? Update. Thank you guys for the kind and not so kind words. I appreciate all the advice. I will seek out a therapist to get through this, as it is indeed a painful moment in my life. I guess deep down I know none of this was a good idea, but maybe I was shocked by her admission and further freaking audacious actions coupled with the reality of the last 5 years of building, traveling, fun and happy times, and my once best friend in life and first true love all coming to an end. I am definitely allowing my emotions to hold me hostage here. The friendship obviously would not benefit me in any resourceful way, but I can see how it would benefit her in many ways. A security blanket, as someone put it. I also agree that at this point I cannot dictate who she sees or befriends. Knowing that she still wanted some kind of relationship with the guy that she cheated on me with, I should have simply declined the mere notion of us being friends. To those seeking more details. No, we don't have kids. I have pressed her on the met at a store story several times, but she doubles down on it. Says she understands that the behavior was unsafe and unhealthy, but she was in a vulnerable place due to the marital funk when she first met the guy and accepted his number and his request to have drinks. Also blames some of her actions on alcohol. This woman came into my life when I was in a dark place myself. She is a big reason why I am the person I am today, as she's helped build me up in many ways. So it seems to me that one of the reasons why I still wanted to be there for her after what happened was probably to show gratitude. As some has pointed out, it probably has to do with not having better self-esteem as well. I'm also aware that she can have suicidal thoughts and speak in really dark terms when she goes through situations like this, and she has during this process, especially when she thought she was going to be homeless, etc. But I am coming to the realization that the same way I must now seek help to better myself, so does she. She cannot expect me to care more for her than she does for herself. Especially in a moment like this, I must prioritize myself and my mental health if I am to move past this. Throughout the years, we've had some marital issues, typically in the form of verbal abuse on both ends. When arguments occur, some pretty horrible things get said both by me and by her. We tried to change this, but it didn't seem to be working out. She claims that this is what drove her to do what she did. The break in question was not a separation. We were having discussions on whether we should call it quits or not after our last big fight. She then said that she needs space for herself, and this is when she went out of town for a couple days. She even asked me to join her on the first day/night, which I did. The next day is when the situation happened with the stranger. I still cannot make sense of all of it. Some of it definitely seems made up and like she's lying. Others just seem like pretty irrational behavior of which she's blaming on things that I've said in arguments. Whether it was planned or not, or done out of anger, it's blatantly disrespectful no matter how you look at it. If we were to end things, fine, let's do that first, then pursue your rendezvous. As much as it still hurts and as painful as all of this is, I am now filing for divorce. I stopped all contact with her, except for how to distribute our assets, and I'll be getting a therapist. Thank you for your time, words, encouragement, and advice. It has helped me gain some clarity on things I was in obvious denial about. Update. I'm filing for divorce on the ground of infidelity. We've halted contact and minimal communication, and I'll be seeing a therapist soon. This second story is about a guy ranting about his wife who tortured him for 2 weeks. By PokerGod 615. Crazy 2 weeks. Narrated by Christopher. By the way, in the comment section, can you guys let me know which voice you guys like, mine or Christopher's?
I wasn't happy, but I wasn't miserable. I still felt like I was married to my dream girl, even if it were buried under years of poor diet and lifestyle choices, mistrust, frustration, emotional distance. I was more than unhappy though. I just didn't realize it honestly and fully until she forced me to. I had started talking to my few coworkers who are good friends, all females because I'm a teacher, about how and why I felt how I did over the past 2 years. My thoughts about preferring to be alone rather than be alone in a marriage. How I felt like I was wasting my sex drive in a dead bedroom. How I begged to go to counseling with her. How I worked hard to help run my household and raise our kids well. How I did so much of everything at home, happily, not perfectly though. How I begged her to let me date her again. I just wanted open communication. But gifts went unappreciated, plans weren't made. Any serious conversation was shut down or avoided. Requests for physical touch and intimacy went ignored. These women were super supportive of me and wanted to know more. They opened up to me fully about their dating lives, their hopes, and their struggles. They uplifted me and gave me confidence when mine was non-existent. They told me I was a prize. They wanted me to teach a class on how to be a boyfriend/husband. I needed it all. One of them in particular always stood out because I had developed a growing, work-wife vibe with her. I found myself making excuses to stay after work to lose myself in conversation with her about work, home, fun stuff, and learning about each other. And she's great to look at, with a smile and laugh to light up a room. So 2 weeks ago, I unexpectedly get into an auto accident. Could have been much worse, but I was traumatized and had slight injuries on my left side. Upon coming home, my wife was her usual clinical self, works in hospital admin, no comfort or physical contact, no happiness that I wasn't seriously hurt or killed. No offer to get me something or even a kiss on the cheek. She was more concerned about her plans to meet some old employees for dinner and drinks after, and how having to pick the kids up from school would infringe on her plan. She asked me to keep the kids home with me. I was stunned. I asked, what if something emergent happens? I have no car, I'm on painkillers, I'm supposed to just rest. Why would you not be concerned? She said I was being dramatic. I told her how a stranger at the scene offered to buy me water and that it hurt me that she didn't offer me a drink or ice pack for my badly swollen hand. She just left. She never checked in with me all day or night. Got home and went to bed. I pursued her and asked her why this happened and why she was like this. It was a loud, emotional, then quiet conversation that ended with, I love you but I'm not in love with you. I was still weak from the day. I was shocked but shouldn't have been. I took the approach of giving her space and not giving up on us. I apologized for my reaction. I apologized for whatever I did or didn't do to make her feel this way. I asked her to take her time before we spoke about this again. I bared my heart to her in order to both save our marriage and to gain closure if this was the end. I sat next to her, held her hand, both of us crying, and asked her if she thought I was hopeless. She said no. I asked if she was in a physical affair. She said no. An emotional affair? No. Daydreaming about escaping our life with someone else? No. I would not do that to you, and I wouldn't ruin us to just jump in bed with someone else. Okay, I'm taking you at face value, babe. She acted this way and was involved in an emotional affair a decade ago. A week went by where we had very little contact, and I tried to kiss her daily as we had for 14 years, only for her to pursue her lips and barely smile. She said she needed time to collect her thoughts and express them. She said she was going out after work for drinks but not staying out late. At 9:55 p.m. she sent me a pic of a flyer for a theme night at a nearby bar starting at 10 and that she was going. I said, okay, thanks for the heads up so I don't worry too much. I went to do some work on her PC, a gift for me to support her trying to take classes or work from home when she lost her job, and snooped, and found photos taken from her iPhone of text screen caps from her work phone. She was texting the ugly, goofy guy at work, who happens to report to her, in very secretive, personal ways about herself and our marriage, complimenting him, how he looks better in dress clothes than scrubs, and how she grew up too fast, settled on me because she wanted a wedding and kids by 30, and now regretted it. Kids are amazing, everything else was meh. I was stunned and shattered. I was angry and sad. Then I was calm. And I said aloud for the first time ever, she is not a good wife or person and I want a divorce. I printed the pics and handwrote a note that told her how she'd hurt me more than I thought possible, how I was so mistaken in believing I knew her character, and how I never regretted us before tonight but will now, forever. I also said I assumed that her needing time to gather her thoughts was really her waiting to consummate her affair before pulling the trigger. I laid it on her pillow and went to sleep. I heard her come in at 3 a.m. and listened to her confusedly turning pages and starting to weep. Then snoring. I contacted a lawyer and have been doing and saying all the right things to keep things amicable, knowing they might not stay that way. But then, I was injured on the job and require lots of assistance right now and can't contribute as usual. I need her. It's not great. But she's held up her end of things so far. I pray this isn't a long-term issue. What a 2 weeks. Life is upside down. I'm in a low place. 14 years wasted, apparently. Bad run I'm on right now. But my fantastic coworkers are cheering me up, and that one special coworker is actually the person who brought me home from the ER. We'd be so perfect together if I can get healthy and settled enough to deserve her.